My name is Noel Fleming. I'm from Inchicore originally. I've been living in Tala for the last 50 years. When I was 13, I came to work on Thomas Street 62 years ago. And that was in 1963. In 1977, I came around to Mead Street with another man and we opened a shop just up the road, number 15. And I came down here in 1998 and we opened this shop. So I'm here ever since.
And how has the Liberties changed?
Huge changes in that time. Just if you look over your shoulder there, all those high-rise buildings down the end, we used to see the mountains. Now we don't. The Liberties, it's unbelievable the changes that have taken place. Gentrification is happening and there's nothing we can do about it. It is happening. The big problem with it is it's squeezing the community that is here, the original Liberties community that is here, they're squeezing it out. There's a lot of people, ordinary working class people can't afford to buy houses here. There's no social housing being built now in the area. So anybody who are buying houses are wealthier people who are moving in, all lovely people. But the actual community that was born and raised here over the last 50, 60, 70 years have been squeezed out of it. A lot of them went out to the suburbs in my time, since I came. And that itself was no harm. They got houses out in the suburbs. But instead of, they gave the developers permission to build all these accommodation blocks that people can't afford. The rents in them are horrendous. The student accommodation blocks, the kids can't afford to pay the rent in them. And it's unbelievable the changes in it.
And obviously the Liberties is so well known for being, I suppose, just like a small town in the middle of Dublin.
It's a village in Dublin City, yeah. And
has that changed?
Oh yes, it has. This, as I said, the Liberties is a village in the city of Dublin. This street, Mead Street that we're on now, is the last authentic street like it that's left. And next Monday, this day week, they're going to start regenerating the street. And we're on two minds whether it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. While it's going on, it's going to have a huge effect on the shops and the businesses on the street. Some of us mightn't see the end of it in the 2 years, depending on how it goes, because before Christmas we had Uisce Éireann putting down new water mains and the street was closed for a good part of that time. And it had an awful effect on business, 30-40% drop in sales.
Yeah, and what do you think that the UNESCO heritage, if that was to be introduced, say tomorrow,
it would be wonderful because it will highlight to the world what's unique about the Liberties. And this is what we have to try and save. That's what I'm trying to save here and have been doing for years. The people I grew up with, I came here as a 13-year-old child around to Thomas Street. And I've seen the generation that were there then, their children and now their grandchildren, and I know them all. And we're trying to save what it is that I found here and still is here, so that it doesn't go away altogether.
My name is James Madigan. I've lived in the Liberties. I've shopped in the Liberties my entire life. I'm a tour guide. I teach local history since 2015 in the Liberties. And I would be one of the campaigners to really protect the Liberties community and also to protect the built heritage in the Liberties. And one of those buildings obviously is the Ivy Markets.
Mm-hmm. And what's the biggest change that you've seen in the Liberties throughout the years?
Literally, the Celtic Tiger missed the Liberties. So what we had is a fairly undamaged landscape in say 2015, 2016. But with the student accommodation coming in, the heights were raised and it sort of ended up that only very high-end accommodation can be built. So that means hotels and student accommodation.
And not focusing on tangible things, but more intangible things.
Yes.
What do you fear is being lost within the Liberties at the moment?
The intangible things would be the community, the spirit of the people, the fun, the laughter. Watch the way the dogs go in Noel's Deli, the way the dogs have to run to get fed. Walk around, talk to people. That human connection, the way the Liberties has always welcomed new people. It has always amalgamated the old and the new. So I would be very afraid that we're looking at a Liberties that actually has huge money investing in it, but the money isn't being invested properly. The money seems to just go to the high-end stuff. The way, I think now more than ever, the way the new communities integrate. Like we have a Turkish cafe, we have the Hindu shops, that wonderful sense that you just come to the Liberties and you be yourself, and that's all you need.
My name is Mahmoud Balkir. I came to the early 90s to Dublin and study, and I was always liked the Liberty and Mother Redcap Market, and I used to come down and, getting bits of peace. And we had a rug shop in Vesper Mall, and then early 2000, I moved to the Francis Street. I bought the company. It was a rug shop we used to supply. He is retired and I bought his business. And I loved the Liberty because it's a real Dublin sense. You could see the multimillionaire, you could see the homeless, you could see the all sort of life of people. And real Liberty is a real Dublin. And if you come to the Dublin, if you don't go to the Liberty, it's not a Dublin. That's how I could describe. It's of course a Guinness store in here, so it brings the more tourists, which is nice, and local business. It used to be very run down. Is now a lot of shops are opening, which is in a good way. And
How has it changed, I suppose, since you first?
change is big, but there is a lot of hotels are being built, which is I'm not happy about it. They should be turned into those land to the community, and community is being pushed a little bit out. So I think you have to keep those community in Dublin, inside the Dublin. That's what gives the character to the Dublin city centre. But if you push those people out, there will be no character then around and Liberty. So I think people are being slowly being pushed out of to the Liberty. That's what I feel, because there are a lot of hotels being built. They should be put into social housing.
We're here about 22 years now, and it's been an eventful 22 years, shall we say.
And how has things changed since you started here in Liberties?
Oh, immensely, really. With the development of obviously the Guinness storehouse, the amount of tourists that are coming into the area, and they come here to meet our locals. I know you've asked me specifically what has changed. But just to give you a kind of what's happened demographically is that we have a lot more tourists coming into the area who come in to visit here and other pubs in the area because of the cultural aspect of meeting the Liberty people, who are unique. They are unique. They are a very vibrant, very hospitable, very family orientated people, and they enjoy meeting the tourists, and the tourists enjoy meeting them. And also down the road we have the BIMS College, the British and Irish Music College, and we get a lot of their students in. And of course the very famous Fontaine's DC. They have mentioned us in their songs at the start of their career, and they performed upstairs. Well, they practiced upstairs in a lounge that we used to have. So we've a diverse cultural encouragement here. There is a great worry that we will lose that identity, because the people who live in the Liberties are culturally very, very beautiful people, really are genuinely beautiful. And that in itself is a cultural, very much a cultural identity. And we would hate to see that being pulled out. And I know that the development of hotels and the development of student accommodation and all those very important things. But identity, cultural identity is very important. And it is important that we maintain that. And guys like Tom McGee, who is trying to get a rugby pitch for his lads, And that will culturally help to keep the young people in the area